Hare Krishna, everyone. Thank you for joining Srimad Bhagavatam Sangha and Attentive Japa. We're going to continue with the pastimes of Dhruva Maharaj. And it's a very good example for all of us. Whenever we're feeling down, unenthusiastic, then Dhruva Maharaj's pastime is the one we look at to bring us back into focus again. 5-year-old child having so much endurance to achieve his goal, and it was so difficult as well, but he made sure he pleased Narayan and got not only material benefit but the spiritual benefit as well. So we'll continue from here. Now today Dhruva Maharaj is going to return home, so he's fulfilled his mission. He's going back home. So when King Uttanpad heard that his son Dhruva was coming back home, as if coming back to life after death, he could not put his faith in this message, for he was doubtful of how it could happen. He considered himself the most wretched, and therefore he thought it was not possible for him to attain such good fortune. Dhruva Maharaj, a 5-year-old boy, went to the forest for penance and austerity, and the king could not at all believe that a small boy of such a tender age could live in the forest. He was certain that Dhruva was dead. He therefore could not fix his faith in the message that Dhruva Maharaj was coming back home again. He was convinced himself that my boy is now gone, I'll never see him again. But he got the message from a messenger, but he found it hard to believe. He thought, they were mistaken. There was some miscommunication. So after Dhruva Maharaj's departure from home, King Uttanpad thought that he was the cause of Dhruva's leaving, and thus he considered himself the most wretched. Therefore, even though it was possible that his lost son was coming back from the kingdom of death, he thought this, since he was more sinful, it was not possible for him to be so fortunate as to get back his lost son. So King Uttanpad thought that that was his punishment, that he had neglected his son, and for this bad karma, his punishment would be that he would lose his son. But so he couldn't believe that how can it be possible that destiny has allowed me to continue the association of my son once again. It's amazing. So let's do a quick prayer. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Mukham Kroti Vachalam Pangum Langyate Grim Yat Kirpatam Mande. Shri Gurun Din Taranam Pramananda Madhavam Shri Chaitanya Ishwaram Hari Om Tassat Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Cheva Narotamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tatojayam Puduriyat Nasta Preshava Bhadareshu Nityam Bhagavat Sevya Bhagavati Uttam Shloke Bhakti Bhavati Nestiki. Hare Krishna. So although he couldn't believe the words of the messenger, he had full faith in the word of the great sage Narad. So even Narad Muni came and told him, yes, your son is coming back home. Thus he was greatly overwhelmed by the news, and he immediately offered the messenger a highly valuable necklace in great satisfaction. Then King Uttanpad, being very eager to see the face of his lost son, mounted a chariot drawn by excellent horses and bedecked with golden filigree. Taking with him many learned Brahmins, all the elderly personalities of his family, his officers, his ministers, and his immediate friends, he immediately left the city. So the kings always travel with their paraphernalia and their associates, and plus it will be good to welcome Dhruv properly with everyone going together. As he proceeded in this parade, there were auspicious sounds of conch shells, kettle drums, flutes, and the chanting of Vedic mantras to indicate all good fortune. Both the queens of King Uttanpad, namely Suniti and Surichi, along with his other son, Uttam, appeared in the procession. The queens were seated on a palanquin. After the departure of Dhruva Maharaj from the palace, the king was very afflicted, but the kind words of Saint Narad, he was partially satisfied. He could understand the great fortune of his wife Suniti and the great misfortune of Queen Surichi. For these facts were certainly very open in the palace. But still, when the news reached the palace that Dhruva Maharaj was returning, his mother Suniti, out of great compassion and due to being the mother of a great Vaishnava, did not hesitate to take the other wife, Surichi, and her son Uttam on the same palanquin. There was greatness of Queen Suniti, the mother of the great Vaishnava Dhruva Maharaj. So, great mother can only give birth to a great son. So the mother, so if you have a great child, then you have to be worthy of having that great child. So obviously Krishna sees something in you that he allows you to have such a exalted child's birth through that mother's womb, and allow that father to be the father of that child. Same in Damodar month, Yashoda Mata, they saw Anand Maharaj, they're so exalted that they have the benefit of having Krishna as their son and seeing all the time. So upon seeing Dhruva Maharaj approaching the neighboring small forest, King Uttanpad with great haste got down from his chariot. He had been very anxious for a long time to see his son Dhruv, and therefore with great love and affection, he went forward to embrace his long-lost boy. Breathing very heavily, the king embraced him with both arms. But Dhruva Maharaj was not the same as before. He was completely sanctified by spiritual advancement due to having been touched by the lotus feet of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Reunion with Dhruva Maharaj fulfilled King Uttanpad's long cherished desire, and for this reason he smelled Dhruva's head again and again and bathed him with torrents of very cold tears. So Srila Prabhupada explains that by nature's way, when a man cries, there may be two causes. When one cries in great happiness upon the fulfillment of some desire, the tears coming forth from the eyes are very cold and pleasing. whereas tears in times of distress are very hot. Then Dhruva Maharaj, the foremost of all nobles, first of all offered his obeisances at the feet of his father and was honored by his father with various questions. He then bowed his head at the feet of his two mothers. It may be questioned by why Dhruva Maharaj offered his respect not only to his mother but also to his stepmother, due to whose insults he had to leave home. The answer is that after achieving perfection by self-realization and seeing the Supreme Personality of Godhead face to face, Dhruva Maharaj was completely freed from all contamination of material desires. So, which includes material desires include profit and loss, and also honor and dishonor. So he no longer really cared that he was dishonored by his stepmother. He treated her equally as his own mother. So Lord Chaitanya therefore says that one has to be humbler than the grass, and he recommends more tolerant than the tree to execute devotion service. Therefore, Dhruva Maharaj therefore has in this verse been described as such Jana Granhi, the foremost of noble men. The pure devotee is the noblest of all, and he has no feelings of animosity towards anyone. Duality, due to the animosity, is the creation of this material world. There is no such thing in the spiritual world, which is the absolute reality. So if you have reached that level of perfection, then your behavior becomes like as you would be in the spiritual world, where there is no envy and there's no animosity, things like that. So you start behaving like that as well. So Suruchi, the younger mother of Dhruva Maharaj, seeing that the innocent boy had fallen at her feet, immediately picked him up, embracing him with her hands, and with tears of feeling, she blessed him with the words, "My dear boy, long may you live." Now, the question may be raised in this connection, why Suruchi, who was not at all favorably disposed towards Dhruva, blessed him, "Long may you live," which means that she also desired good fortune for him. Because originally she wanted him dead. She said, if you want to sit on the lap of your father, you'll have to die and take birth again from my womb. So now she's saying, "Long may you live." The answer is given in this verse. Since Dhruva Maharaj was blessed by the Lord, due to his transcendental qualities, everyone was bound to offer him all respects and benediction, just as water, by its nature, flows downwards. A devotee of the Lord does not demand respect from anyone, but wherever he goes, he is honored by everyone throughout the whole world with all respect. Srinivas Acharya said that the 6 Goswamis of Vrindavan are respected throughout the entire universe because a devotee, having pleased the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the source of all emanations, ultimately pleases everyone, and thus everyone offers him respect. So if you please God, the root, then everyone is ultimately pleased. Unto one who has transcendental qualities due to friendly behavior with the Supreme Personality of Godhead, all living entities offer honor, just as water ultimately flows down by nature. So the question may be raised by this connection, why Suruchi, who was not at all favorably disposed to do, blessed him. So I think we've just already answered that question. We'll move on to the next one. The 2 brothers, Uttam and Dhruva Maharaj, also exchanged their tears. They were overwhelmed by the ecstasy of love and affection. And when they embraced one another, the hair on their bodies stood up. So obviously the children between them, they didn't have any issues with each other. Just the mother of the younger child who had the problem with Dhruva Maharaj. But now even that was clarified now. Suniti, the real mother of Dhruva Maharaj, embraced the tender body of her son, who was dearer to her than her own life, and thus forgot all material grief, for she was very pleased. The residents of the palace praised the queen. "Dear queen, your beloved son was lost a long time ago, and it is your great fortune that he now has come back." It appears, therefore, that your son will be able to protect you for a very long time and will put an end to all your material pangs. Dear Queen, you must have worshipped the Supreme Personality of Godhead who delivers his devotees from the greatest danger. Persons who constantly meditate upon him surpass the course of birth and death. This perfection is very difficult to achieve. The sage Maitreya continued. So sage Maitreya is telling Buddha this pastime. So we just come back to sage Maitreya again. Sage Maitreya continued, my dear Vidur, when everyone was thus praising Dhruva Maharaj, the king was very happy and he had Dhruva and his brother seated on the back of a she-elephant. Thus he returned to his capital where he was praised by all classes of men. The whole city was decorated with columns of banana trees containing bunches of fruits and flowers, and betel nut trees with leaves and branches were seen here and there. There were also many gates set up which were structured to give the appearance of sharks. So at each and every gate, there were burning lamps and big water pots decorated with different colored cloth, strings of pearls, flower garlands, and hanging mango leaves. In the capital city, there were many palaces, city gates, and surrounding walls, which were already very, very beautiful. And on this occasion, all of them were decorated with golden ornaments. The domes of the city palaces glittered, as did the domes of the beautiful airplanes which hovered over the city. All the quadrangles, lanes, and streets in the city and the raised sitting places at the crossings were thoroughly cleansed and sprinkled with sandalwood water and auspicious grains such as rice and barley and flowers, roots, and many of the auspicious presentation was scattered all over the city. So as Dhruva Maharaj passed on the road from every place in the neighborhood, all the gentle household ladies assembled to see him, and after maternal affection, but they offered their blessings, showered him with white mustard seeds, barley, curd, water, newly grown grass, fruits, and flowers. So in this way, Dhruva Maharaj, while hearing the pleasing songs sung by the ladies, entered the palace of his father. So Dhruva Maharaj thereafter lived in his father's palace, which had walls bedecked with highly valuable jewels. His affectionate father took particular care of him, and he dwelled in that house, just as the demigods live in their palaces in the higher planetary systems. The bedding in the palace was as white as the foam of milk and was very soft. The bedsteads were made of ivory with the embellishments of gold, and the chairs, benches, and other sitting places and furniture were made of gold. So we go on, describing the opulence of Maharaj Uttanpad's palace. So the saintly King Uttanpad, hearing of the glorious deeds of Dhruva Maharaj and personally seeing also how influential and great he was, felt very satisfied, for Dhruva's activities were wonderful to the supreme degree. So when after consultation, King Uttanpad saw that Dhruva Maharaj was suitably mature to take charge of the kingdom and that his ministers were agreeable and the citizens were also very fond of him, he enthroned Dhruva as emperor of this planet. After considering his advanced age and deliberating on the welfare of his spiritual self, King Uttanpad detached himself from worldly affairs and entered the forest. So then now Dhruva Maharaj has taken over the kingdom, as he just wanted to sit on his father's lap at that stage, but now he's come to the fact that he has taken over the kingdom itself and he will rule it for a very long time. It's amazing how destiny can change so quickly. There's a time that he was told that he should die. He wasn't allowed to sit on his father's lap. And now he comes back home and everyone loves him. His father loves him. His stepmother loves him. How can destiny change so quickly? And in fact, it was his fortune that he went through this trial, that he managed to see darshan of Narayan, and he got boons from Narayan, and then he is ruling his kingdom. How can things just change so quickly like that? Your life changes by 180 degrees. Sometimes it can change for the opposite, and sometimes it can change for good. How does this work? How does this divine intervention work? So it's amazing. Love to have your opinion. So on this, just want to welcome you all: Hina Mataji, Rukmini Mataji, Madhav Shamsundar Prabhu, Nityashri Mataji, Partha Prabhu, Parveen Mataji, and Sarvashya Mataji. Thank you all so much for joining. Let's have a small discussion on this. So this is amazing pastime. Love to hear your views or anything that you find interesting in there. Hare Krishna, Hina Mataji. Hari Bol.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, Dandavat Pranam everyone. Lovely reading, thank you Prabhu. So it's a nice verse, and it's so happy and joyous with Dhruva Maharaj returning home. I think for me from this verse, the key points for me takeaway is how Dhruva Maharaj sets a benchmark for how he received his stepmother when he comes home. No, as you said, no animosity, no bad feelings, despite how he was treated by her. He's not affected by honor and dishonor, and it shows that he's displaying a level of maturity. I guess a symptom, he's showing that he's a sadhu in many respects. It's the characteristics of transformed at such a young age into a sadhu, and being tolerant, merciful. He's got no enemies. He's great compassion. He's obviously a well-wisher of everybody. Which is really good, and it just shows that he is very much surrendered to Krishna, because those are the characteristics that only a sadhu can develop when he's so surrendered to the Lord, which just goes to show his complete transformation, which is great. Thank you, Prabhu.
Thank you so much. Yes, amazing. Even at the age of 5, it's an example for us that anything is possible. Anything is possible. Especially in spiritual life, anything is possible because Krishna will help you, but you just have to have determination. Sometimes Krishna arranges things, or sometimes we pray. There are people who have prayed to the Lord that please make some kind of arrangement that I get deeper into my bhakti. It might not seem that it's in your favor, or it might be adverse feeling for you. It might bring you some kind of unhappiness, but if it brings you close to Krishna, so sometimes that is favorable. Thank you so much, Mataji. Hare Krishna, Rukmini Mataji. Hari Bol.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hari Bol.
Dhruva Maharaj returned from the jungle and finished his tapascharya, and he got a lot of honor by his mother. So it's the result of his tapascharya, and whole family, whole city, everything was decorated for his honor. So he did his tapascharya, and he, such a little boy, can do that, and without fearing in the jungle. So very, very amazing for Dhruva, and for us also. That's it, Prabhuji.
Thank you so much, Madhuri. Yeah, amazing. Madhav Shamsundar Prabhu, would like to add something? Hari Bol. You have to unmute yourself, Prabhu. Okay, no worries. We'll come back to you, Prabhu. Nityashri Mataji, you want to say something? Okay.
Sorry. Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Hare Krishna everyone. Dandavat Pranam. Prabhuji, I've joined for the first time, and I today was thinking, you know, all these months and years since you've been doing this, I have been missing out. So I really like your, your reading and your explanation. You know, as you rightly said earlier, that, you know, when we have adversities in life, we sometimes do not understand the hand of God behind it. And had his mother not done, his stepmother not done to Dhruv what she actually did, Dhruv would not be, you know, have the darshan of the Lord. He wouldn't have been doing all this tapasya. He wouldn't be remembered. He's got a, you know, he's classed as one of the highest devotees among the Vaishnavas. So, you know, all this feat only came when he had so much of, you know, in some sort of a, in some shape or form, some sort of a calamity. But then it also impresses, you know, the glories of the Guru, like how Narad Muni has actually elevated him from he went only to look for material desire, and how with the mercy of the Guru, he's not only got the material desires, but he's got the kingdom of God there. So it's this story itself, you know, or this pastime of Dhruva Maharaj has got so many lessons to be taken home. Every aspect of it, you know, how he comes back, how he's received, how his, you know, the perception changes once he's met the Lord, the glories of the Guru here, the glories of how a mother should direct a child. So everything about those pastimes, it seems, you know, it's such a beautiful and a wonderful pastime.
Thank you so much, Madhuri. Thank you. Yeah, we mentioned the Guru, amazing. Even Prahlad Maharaj said that he would not have the darshan of Nrsimhadev had he not his Guru helped him. And in both cases, the Guru was Narad Muni. I think Dhruva Maharaj, obviously, being a child, he didn't really know what to do. He was very, very, very hurt. He was very hurt. He had this Kshatriya spirit, and he felt very dishonored by his stepmother. He was very, very hurt. So he wanted to do anything to resolve that. But he didn't know really what to do. He just followed his mother's instructions. Go to the forest, you'll find the Lord there. But he still didn't know what to do. And thanks to Narad Muni, who guided him, even told him at the shortcut that, you know, it will be difficult, but if you do this, you will see the Lord very quickly. So a guru is very important in this aspect. For our spiritual life as well, we need a guru, a spiritual master for guidance, just like Arjun did. Thank you so much, Madhuri. Partha Prabhu, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, such a nice point shared by all. I joined a little bit late, so I'm okay to listen, Prabhuji. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Prabhu. I mean, we're just talking about Dhruv. We were just saying that how quickly his destiny changed. You know, within 6 months, his destiny changed. And not only did his destiny change, how come, Prabhu, maybe you can answer this. How can people, you know, how come everyone just changed towards him? Because he left home. You would think that his stepmother would say, good riddance. Now the path is clear for my son to take over the kingdom, and he has his father all to himself, etc., etc. But somehow everyone's opinion changed, that they embraced him, that they felt for him, they wanted him back. How did that happen? You know, what happened there? That not only did he change, everybody else changed as well towards him.
I mean, we say, no, Prabhuji, a devotee is self-effulgent. Like, he may not be appear like, materialistically, he may not be appear beautiful, but once you become a devotee, there is some glow in the devotee space. So I think once he become a pure devotee, that glow is coming in him. At the same time, his consciousness is spreading across everybody, maybe, Prabhuji. That's what I think.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Prabhu. Thank you. Okay. Praveen Mataji, Hari Bol.
Hari Bol. Dandavat pranam to everyone. Yes. Very nice ending. Dhruva Maharaj coming back home. Everybody's made all the points. So the thing that been stuck in my head is like great mother had a great son. So, and Dhruva Maharaj, how he was determined, noble, all the qualities, and how he did not have any bad feelings toward his stepmother. And most of all is fearless. Dhruva Maharaj was fearless at such young age to perform such austerities and penances. We can't even think of that, even like fasting. One day we think, oh God, it's Ekadashi tomorrow, no eating grains and this and that. And what Dhruva Maharaj did. But what thing came to my head is why there isn't a deity of Dhruva Maharaj. Because what Dhruva Maharaj did at such a young age. Because we have like every other, like Hanuman, you know. So why there is nothing to do with Dhruva Maharaj? That's the only thing, you know. Because I think we need to pay obeisances to Dhruva Maharaj every day. So we even get like a little bit of bhakti, you know. That's it, Prabhuji. Haribol.
And yeah, very good point actually, because we do have Prahlad Maharaj with the Narsingadev.
Yeah.
We don't have Dhruva Maharaj. Yeah, good point.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mataji.
Haribol.
Haribol. Swashi Mataji, Haribol.
Hare Krishna, Hare Bol to everybody. The association is very important. People, they change with the association of the devotees. And same thing by the association of Narad Muni and Lord Vishnu. Dhruva Maharaj was reformed. Before he was very angry with his his step mother. And he wanted all the opulence, he wanted everything, but when he had association with Lord Vishnu and Narad, he was changed. And when he came and he met everybody, so he was pleased to see his stepmother. I mean, all his anger was gone. So, but it's very important to have association. It can change people's life. That's what I can say this morning. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Does anyone want to say something?
Hare Krishna, everyone. This is a beautiful pastime, and as Parveen Mataji was saying, there's no deity of Dhruva Maharaj. But as we know, Dhruva Maharaj has been given the eternal abode of as a pole star. So he's always there. So we can not only pay obeisances to him when we are hearing the glories of Dhruva Maharaj, or when we're describing them or discussing them, or using his beautiful pastime as an example in our daily dealings in day-to-day life, and how he overcome all the dualities, and how he was above all the four vices, which we are told again and again in this material life we have to deal with day in, day out, sorry. And Dhruva Maharaj is described as such Janani Granih, the foremost of noblemen. That's the point which stands out for me in this class today. And absolutely, if we can have even a little percentage of the noble qualities of Dhruva Maharaj in our life, I think we can please Guru and Gauranga, Guru and Krishna just like that. So much to learn from today's pastimes of Dhruva Maharaj, which has been ongoing for many weeks now. And I'm looking forward to hear the next week's pastime of Dhruva Maharaj. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Yeah, thank you. So, talking about Guru, Praveen Mataji, you mentioned that we could have something, even a speck of what Dhruva Maharaj had, enthusiasm. So, Dhruva Maharaj took the shelter. First, we have to realize that there is a problem, right? So, Dhruva Maharaj had an issue, he had a problem that he wanted to resolve. Now, we also have a problem. Do we recognize it that we have a problem? We are stuck in this material world, and we're stuck in this material body. We're stuck in the cycle of birth and death, old age and disease. We have this issue, but because we think with this body, we don't see that we have a problem. When we realize that we actually spiritual souls, and we just given this material body because we have material desires. So we have to realize that we have this issue. We need to get out. The house is on fire. We need to get out. And then we take shelter, just like he took shelter of his guru, we have to take shelter of our gurus. And how do we take shelter of our guru? By following their instructions. by following Prabhupada's books, following what he says. So Prabhupada says, yes, you can go back home, you chant attentively, you do devotional service. By devotional service, you can know Krishna. So like that, if we follow his instructions, we have taken shelter of him. Obviously, different requirements for different yugas. We follow instructions of our guru in this yuga, we can definitely go back home as well. That's the promise of Srila Prabhupada. So that's it. So, that's an example of different situations in different yugas, but it just shows that, yes, if you realize you have an issue, you have a problem, you want to do something about it, and you take the instruction of the guru, you can achieve good results. So we have to do the same. That we realize we have a problem. First, we have to realize we have a problem. Sometimes we don't realize we have a problem. We need shelter of a guru to guide us, and then follow the guidance with full determination and enthusiasm. Then we can go back home. And Lord Chaitanya says, chant attentively, and that's what we like to do. Unless somebody has any questions, we can move on to do some chanting. Hare Krishna. So we'll do a couple of rounds. Swashi Mataji and then Praveen Mataji. Thank you so much.
Nama Om Vishnu Padaya.